Hi again, guys. In part 2, I left you at Lago Grey, remember? When I had that walk through this magical forest and we had the last looks at this wonderful lake. Here we are starting again at Puerto Natales, and this time for the second day at Torres del Paine National Park, where we do a huge round around the park. This whole day trip would start as usual on a paved road and finally end up on what you see right now. Well, luckily there was someone to take care of the dust here. Our first stop at Torres del Paine National Park was Sarmiento Lake. It is named after the Spanish explorer Pedro Sarmiento de Gamboa. Its edge is marked by extensive calcium carbonate trombolites deposits, possibly from hydrothermal activity in the lake. Notice its cobalt deep blue waters, which create a perfect setting for a picture with Torres del Paine mountains in the background. And now we're off to our next destinations. One of the entrances to Torre del Paine National Park lies at Laguna Amarga. How beautiful. It is a good access point for both Ascencio Valley, which leads to the breathtaking Torres del Paine lookout, and for the northern part of the park, which is visited on the full circuit. While at Laguna Amarga, I was lucky to spot the guanaco. The guanaco or guanaco is a camelid native to South America and closely related to the llama, to the llama. Guanacos are one of the two wild South American camelids, the other being the vicuña, which lives at higher elevations. Perhaps you ask yourself, what is the difference between a llama and the guanaco? So the primary difference between guanacos and llamas are their size, colorations, and domestication features. Guanacos are some of the largest wild animals in South America. Llamas are domesticated and primarily used as pack animals. Guanacos have a lifespan of 20 to 25 years. Their running speed can reach 56 kilometers an hour. The natural predators of the guanaco are pumas and culpeo, or the Andean fox. On the road again, and this time to Paine Cascade, one of two spectacular waterfalls which are in the Paine River's course. Too much dust. So let us first stop at Paine Cascade, which is in the course of Rio Paine. The river rises from its source in Dixon Lake and flows east for 9 kilometers to Paine Lake. After flowing through the lake, the river runs for 15 kilometers first southward and then westward to Nordenskjöld Lake. And this is the part of the river course which includes the Paine Cascade. I just had to do a close-up flight of the rapids around Rio Paine. Just look at this torrential river. And here another quick view of the Torres del Paine, the towers of Paine. Obviously we had to see the other waterfall. From the mouth of Nordenskjöld Lake, the river flows for a short distance, falling into Pehue Lake, which you see here. In this area, the river forms a spectacular waterfall known as Salto Grande. After leaving Lake Pehue, the river forms another waterfall called Salto Chico, and runs its last 6 kilometers until emptying into the Del Toro Lake. Its lower course is wide and deep. We did not visit that last waterfall as time ran out. Anything else to say? On a more serious note, it was time to go back and get ready for the next part of the trip to Argentina. Since the bus services are very reliable, I booked a coach from Puerto Natales to El Calafate. Altogether, with the passport control, it took approximately 6 hours to get there. But the passport control on the Chilean side was very easy. And also on the Argentinian side, I didn't experience any problem. The whole process was pretty fast and friendly. Here we are, Santa Cruz Province, Argentina. After arriving at the bus terminal in El Calafate, the monetary situation changed dramatically. There was no ATM at the terminal. I had to walk the 3 kilometers since no cab would take any credit cards. And probably it is also noteworthy to say that in the contrary to Chile, Argentina doesn't have any Uber. I finally made it to the Cauyatún Hotel Boutique, where I spent the next 2 days. Realizing that cash is an absolute necessity in Argentina, I went to look for an ATM. What a nightmare with these ATMs. So I went down to Lago Argentino and spent some time over there. To tell you the truth, some of these ATMs allow you to take $10, $20, a max of $75, and the fees are horrendous. As a little pre-travel money tip, do not exchange your foreign currency into Argentine pesos before arriving in Argentina, and do bring dollars, US dollars, cash, and wait until you are in the city, if possible, to change money at the blue rate. That evening I ended up in one of the local tourist restaurants in the main road, and the food wasn't exceptional, a bit overpriced, and what I thought to be the bouncer was finally a dancer. Apart from the fact that they had me pay on 3 different credit card terminals for the laundry, the restaurant, and the hotel, the boutique hotel was pretty good, and I did enjoy the food there. Here are a few samples. Here we are, the great day. I was really looking forward to go visit Perito Moreno Glacier. So, on the road again. It takes roughly 2 hours to get to the glacier from El Calafate. What you see here is the pay station at the entry of the national park. It costs approximately $13 a person. Finally, not far from the entry to the national park, I got my first view on the glacier. How magnificent is that? The Perito Moreno Glacier is located in Los Glaciares National Park in southwest Santa Cruz Province in Argentina, and is one of the most important tourist attractions in the Argentine Patagonia. The 250 square kilometers ice formation is the world's 3rd largest reserve of fresh water. To see and hear more about this glacier, stay tuned for part 4 coming soon.